Good morning, Leslie, and along with you.
I am Big Chuck. Here we are back at the water cooler. What's on your mind this morning, Leslie?
Well, you ever notice,
Yeah.
this is something that has struck me, you ever notice that it doesn't matter who you run into on the street or out and about, the first conversation topic that takes place is always about the weather.
Always about the weather. You know what? The weather is, being longtime broadcasters like we are, I always look at that as my security blanket on my show on DOS. When I have nothing else to talk about, when I am
can always talk about
completely
the weather.
devoid of ideas, and we've both been doing this, I think we figured it out once, you and I have been doing this 50 years between us.
Yeah.
We are going to run out of things to say. I always go to the weather. Always.
And I love how each pre-winter season, the Farmer's Almanac comes out with their prediction of what the coming winter is going to be. Chuck, do you have in your memory a time when the Farmer's Almanac got it right?
I don't ever remember that. And you know, it's funny because actually on my morning show on DOS, I do a Farmer's Almanac segment. And they're never right. But they're fun.
It is fun.
I have always said, if this train ever ends for me on local radio, I would like to go to wherever the Farmer's Almanac building is. I'm hoping it's in New England, like in Vermont, in a beautiful little town. Knock on the door and say, "Don't even pay me. I want to work here."
Yeah.
I love the Farmer's Almanac. I just do.
It is fascinating, some of the stuff that they have information about. I mean, you've been more of an enthusiast than I have and checked it out over the years.
It's great. I mean, they do everything from they have a segment called Best Days on their website. And what it is whoever these people are, these psychiatrists and fortune tellers, they will tell you that today is the best day to garden or to visit a friend or to play a scratcher. Because they this all comes under their horoscope page.
Oh, I see.
It's crazy. It's insane. I love it. I would love to work for the Farmer's Almanac.
Well, maybe that should be our next job because it sounds to me like that is a winning job.
I mean, and the weather, they have been foretelling the weather for over 100 years.
Yes, they have.
And remember, there was always a hole in the corner of the Farmer's Almanac so that you could hang it up in the outhouse.
And, of course, the biggest daddy of them all in terms of the prognostication measuring stick was the woolly bear caterpillar.
Always the caterpillar.
And how many, I don't know, was it how many stripes it had or how thick it was?
Yeah, it was. How long the orange part in the middle. Who looks at that stuff? You know,
we'd have to identify one of those.
But they
first.
also have great stuff like recipes and things like that. And the other thing that I like about it is, I don't know if you've ever been there or not. You have to go because knowing you like I do, this would be yours. They have the neatest gadgets.
Oh,
They
love
come up
gadgets.
with the gadgets like that the New England farmers would have. Have you ever been to a place called the Vermont Country Store?
I have not.
All right, you can.
Where
go,
is it?
I don't know. I think it's in Woodstock, Vermont. I know Eastern Travel will go there when they're in the area. I've been there. You walk in, it's a store like Lou Rappaport's, a store of 10,000 items. And you walk in, and every item is an item that you say to yourself, I must buy this.
That's danger for me, Chuck.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was in there once, and I bought pegs.
Pegs, like the kind you stick stuff up with?
You don't stick them up. This is a round, it's about a 4-inch.
I'm thinking
looks like
wooden.
a dowel. Wooden, looks like somebody had taken a long round wooden dowel and cut it up into 10 pieces and put a nail in it.
Okay.
In the bottom of it. And you put it up on the wall, and you cover the end. It tells you to cover the end with a towel so you don't mar it. And then you just slowly tap it in.
Tap it in, okay.
And you end up with a peg. I've got pegs all over my house. I
Can they
had to
actually
buy them.
hold anything up?
Nothing is hanging on them. How could I walk out of there without pegs? Really, you would love it. You would love it. And it has all that kind of stuff. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But that's the kind of stuff you find in the Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah, you're right. It's a hodgepodge of just neat ideas and information.
You know what else I saw once was kind of like an Amish Farmer's Almanac? It was, and I don't pretend to know the backstory on this, but a lot of the Amish folks don't use electricity or the modern day conveniences
Sure.
that we have. So there was an almanac out like on how to buy a washing machine that doesn't use electricity.
No kidding.
Or how to buy a tractor that you pedal. I mean, I don't know. But somebody brought one into the studio for me once and showed it to me. It was crazy.
That's
was crazy.
See, I'd love to read that.
Yeah. You need to go to the Vermont Country Store. You
Yep.
really do. I mean, it literally has, like you can go, you know how like if you bake a pie and there, have you ever seen like they'll put a little ceramic bird on top of it?
Oh, yes.
Do you know what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
I
And
do.
it, like either the bird triddles or something, and that means your pie is done, or your steam pie, your tea kettle is done.
Right.
Or 1,000 of them.
Oh, my word.
They have a department on tea kettle birds.
I guess tea is popular.
But I got to tell you, Leslie, if you go there, be prepared to stand
Yeah.
in line.
Okay.
It is a tourist magnet. Now, you like that stuff.
I would
You're
have fun
a
in that
plain,
story. It's kind of like
simple
going to the
girl.
Christmas
That's
tree
all
shop.
you are.
I feel like the Christmas tree shop, which of course is a national chain,
Yeah.
but that's kind of like that idea for me. Although this sounds even neater.
Yes, it is. It's fantastic. Speaking of that, before we go back in to go to work again, when you see if you're in a small town that you've never been there to before, and it's July, and you're walking down the street, and you're looking in the shop windows, and you come to the Christmas store, do you run or do you go in it?
I head in the opposite direction. I
So
am
do
not
I.
willing to look at holiday items in the summertime.
I couldn't agree with you more. And yet, it must be this whole secret society of people because they thrive in the summer.
I know.
I don't
I
get
don't
it.
understand it either. It's a big mystery.
I don't get it. I was in one. We were in Cape May, New Jersey this summer, and we were just walking around, and it was hot. And I think we went into the Christmas store because the air conditioning was working. And I looked around, and no matter what you do, no matter what your interest is, they have a Christmas
Yeah,
ornament.
I know
for
what you mean, like hobby-wise.
Everything.
Or sports team or...
Everything.
Yeah, you're right.
They have an area of Christmas ornaments if your husband or if your significant other is a lineman for like nice egg.
You're kidding me.
There's like 12 choices.
Do they have the radio DJ ornament?
Oh, they got headphones and a microphone. They got it all. They got it all.
grief.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Imagine what that workshop is like, all those people painting. Again, that's got to be Vermont.
Yeah.
All that stuff comes out of Vermont. The
Yeah.
flannel hats, the moose heads on the end of your slippers.
Of course.
You have to have this stuff. My wife, we love to go to Vermont. My wife always says, Trish will say, that the minute we come to the sign that says, "Welcome to Vermont," there's something that's spraying some kind of a mist on you that makes you
It's
want
a
to...
subliminal scent.
That's it.
It's like hormones.
That's it. That makes you want to wear flannel.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're spraying something in the air.
I do too. All right, they're calling us.
explains
We
it.
got to go back to work. I'll meet you
do.
at some other time at the cooler.
You got it, Chuck.